Ladies and gentlemen, members of the jury, members of the Roll the Tape film crew, Eddie Hearn, in multiple interviews within the past month and a half, have constantly reminded the general public, have constantly reminded the boxing community, have constantly reminded a lot of Boots detractors and doubters that he will be making an announcement soon on when Jaron Boots Ennis' next fight will be. And the reason why he had to come out and constantly ensure the boxing community and boxing fans and Boots' detractors about an upcoming fight that will appeal to everyone is because a lot of people criticized the fact that Boots decided not to go to another country at the last minute on short notice without being able to fully prepare for an entire training camp to fight on the undercard against a guy who doesn't even hold a title. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember when people were criticizing Boots for not fighting Virgil Ortiz? There are people, not just boxing fans, but even content creators, who believe that Boots ducked Virgil Ortiz. There's a lot of people, not just boxing fans, but even content creators, who believe that Boots should have just took that fight. And to each his own. I'm not here to criticize what someone's perspective is. If you go back and remember, I told people, I told y'all, I told everyone on YouTube and off of YouTube that Boots going over to another country on an undercard to fight Virgil Ortiz, who doesn't have anything to offer him, according to the plan that he have for himself to be undisputed in this division, makes absolutely no sense, especially when he have to go up by moving up in weight at 154 for the fight. Makes absolutely no business sense, especially after selling out two back-to-back fight dates at a venue in his hometown within 6 months apart. If you really, really want to be technical about the matter, it was literally about 4 months apart. That is a great thing when we talk about the business of boxing. So Boots made the right decision to stick to his guns, to accomplish his goal to be undisputed in the welterweight division. He did the right thing, irregardless of what people feel like he did that didn't make sense to them. But when you understand the business of boxing, you will understand clearly that him making that move didn't make sense. And here we are today, after it's being widely publicized and confirmed that Boots will fight Stanionis to unify the titles in the welterweight division. And Stanionis is not a pushover. I mean, we know that he's undefeated at 15 wins, no losses with 9 knockouts. He's going to come to fight. He will not lay down for Boots. And I believe Boots and his team, my guys over there, Mr. Boozy and them guys, Coach L, shout out to them, and shout out to Boots. They know that Stanionis is not going to lay down. In fact, if you go back and look at the last 3 years, This is a fight that Boots wanted. This is a fight that people have been clamoring for in this division. And we are finally getting it. And guess what? It's happening in the same venue that Boots fought Romain Villiers in. And he closed the show out in dominating fashion. Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City. And it's interesting that the last time I was at Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City was ringside at that fight when Boots fought Romain Villiers. And I did countless interviews there. And one of them was through YSM Sports Media, who interviewed me. And I told people then, and it's all public record, in an interview, that Boots will take over the welterweight division. I told people that then. I said Boots will unify all of the titles. I told people that then. And so now we're here. And I believe that this fight is going to be entertaining enough while it lasts. But at the same time, Boots will be able to solidify himself, not just as a unified champion, but now go after the other world champions and unify in the welterweight division. And then, of course, if he decides to move up after that, by all means, he should. But right now, why not pursue his goal, his dream to become undisputed in the welterweight division right now? And here we are. I mean, look, here's the thing. If you criticize Boots for not moving up to 154, I believe that you should give Boots credit for standing in division right now and unifying the belts. Why not? Keep that same energy. Why not? See, we can't pick and choose, every time when our favorite fighter do something that is favorable, we praise them. When your favorite fighter do something that's not so favorable and not so popular, you stay quiet. This is a situation where everybody have their own perspectives, but we got to give credit to Boots. We got to give credit to Stanionis for wanting to become undisputed in this division as an undefeated champion. We have to give both of these guys credit for stepping up to the plate and fighting each other with their titles on the line so that we can all enjoy one champion. The same way we did when everyone else wanted to pursue their dream and accomplish their goal to be undisputed in the welterweight division. And I'm talking about Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. Because when they wanted to capture all of the titles, a lot of people weren't putting pressure on them to hurry up and move up and not defend the titles that they won or the title that they won. So we can't pick and choose. Give credit where it's due. Boots and Stanionis, two undefeated world champions, they're going to get it on in a few months. And give the sport of boxing credit while you're at it, please. Because we have boxing that's going to flow consistently throughout the first half of 2025, starting. Well, it already started if you think about it. If you really, really think about it, it technically already started. But, I mean, look, the big fights are here now. The big fights are literally here. Starting with February 1st and working our way up. All the way up until May. From February to May. For right now, we have a lot of boxing that we can not just talk about, but that we can enjoy. And so this is a fight that's going to be a good fight. We'll talk about, strengths and weaknesses of both fighters through an open panel that we're going to do live. We'll talk about who you think is going to win, who you think is going to lose, and why. We're going to talk about all of that. But for right now, it has been announced, we all know it at this point, that Jaron Boots Ennis and Stanionis will finally get it on once and for all in the ring to unify the titles. You know what? Don't take my word for it. Roll the tape.